to my channel. My name is Kamira and this is my review for Put a Ring on It Season 2 Episode 10. It's titled Decision Time. And before I get into the review, it wasn't too much like drama on social media this week, so I don't have anything to report when it comes to that. But I did watch or listen to Kai's interview with Little Black Book. It was like an hour long, but honestly, I got two things out of it. One, she knew the assignment and she has no regrets. She kind of kept saying like wait till after the reunion, so maybe it'll be more to come. I mean, that little snippet of the reunion does look good, but that's pretty much it. This is the season finale episode, and oh, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, all that good stuff. Anyway, so it picks up with Dr. Nicole and Eric saying that he was heartbroken about Jessica saying that like he doesn't acknowledge her and, you know, I guess affirm her in the way she wants to. Pretty much they talk about like love languages. So like if he likes physical touch, so he does physical touch to her. She likes words of affirmation. She does that to him. So basically they're not really getting what they need from each other. That's pretty much what's going on with that. She says no to a 5th date with Sean. She wants to focus on her and Eric. And I noticed like his face as she was talking and like this whole their little beginning segment, I wrote down that he was bothered. Like he said her ears must not work because he does things like that to her all the time. But again, like I think there's just some miscommunication and yeah. But I did notice he did smile. I'm talking about from ear to ear when it talked about Leilani. And I was just like, Dr. Nicole says, what do you see when you are with Leilani that you would like to see with Jessica? He says, you know, talking about life, goals, moving forward, grow each other. And I was just like, is that what y'all really talk about? Because we're not seeing that. Jessica says, she wants to find ways to be intimate without touching. But again, like that's his love language. So it may be hard for him. You know what I thought was like interesting too, is that they don't seem to understand like intimacy versus sex. It's kind of weird. I don't know. Anyway, she says he wants something that he's not giving when it comes to them communicating and talking, opening up. Dr. Nicole encourages them to have conversations without distractions, like no phones, no kids, like just us. Eric does say yes to a 4th date with Leilani. He said because she clears my mind, makes me feel wanted and needed. I mean, so far, I feel like Jessica is kind of sort of saying that. This week, he is the only one going on a date with somebody else because the other people will focus on themselves and have like different little assignments to do. Dr. Nicole says, you guys, it's an important decision at the end of the week. Are you going to put a ring on it or go ahead and move forward and go your separate ways? The men are going to go look at rings and the women go look at dresses. Next, we see Eric and Jessica in the car. She did apologize to him for like, you know, not acknowledging, I guess, like the stuff that he does do or whatever. And he was like, but yeah, you said never or I just don't get it. And they go back and forth. And she was like, well, now you see how I feel. And I was just like, there y'all go. Tit for tat, tit for tat. But again, basically, they're just missing each other's love languages. There is still a disconnect with them at this point in the episode. Next, we see the ring shopping with Sean and Eric. Sean said he knows that he wants to marry LaRonda. He had his description already made. He had like 3 or 4 things. What was it, like clear cut, halo, 2-carat, this diamonds around the rim. They knew what they was going in there to get, and I wasn't mad at it. Like she gave him her list. Go do what you got to do. So I wasn't mad. Now it was funny when like the sales lady was just like, yeah, you gotta go big or go home. Eric was just like, I'm ready to go home. I was just like, oh, shut up, Eric. Eric said this process is helping them, but every day Jessica does something to like kind of push him back. Next, we see Eric and Sean sit down to discuss their concerns. Eric was just like, you know what, is this the right thing to do? Is this really it for me? And Sean says, we have, you know, turned over stones in the process, but like, now what? Are we gonna go back and fix these things, or just kind of just keep moving forward? And Eric's just like, you know what, it's a lot of pressure. And I was just like, I mean, yeah, y'all knew what y'all signed up for. It's either stay together or put a ring on it. No, I said stay together or put a ring on it. Stay together and put a ring on it, or go your separate ways. So basically that was pretty much it. Next, we see a one-on-one with Eric and Dr. Nicole. She says, I've seen a lot of growth. And if you've watched my reviews, you know I said the same thing about him. I feel like he was taking it seriously, you know, to a certain extent though. I mean, it's still kind of tit for tat, or like my way or the highway type thing. But like, I mean, I think he has tried throughout the process. I really do. He says he's 85% ready, but like 15% unsure. And he thinks that if they do get married, they may regress and go back into their old habits, and he doesn't want to do that. But he does not feel 100% at that moment. Dr. Nicole says, well, where is your focus? Are you focused on like the good things, the things that make you want to be married to her, or that 15% that's telling you not to get married? She said, focus on what you can do, and find ways to give her grace. We all need grace. We gotta learn how to give grace, because we all are asking for it in some way or another. He said, nothing is perfect, but I want to grow and build and etc. Dr. Nicole says, what are you committed to? Next, we see Jessica and Dr. Nicole go have a talk, a one-on-one chat, to discuss this emotional roller coaster it has been for Jessica. She talks about being able to express herself to Eric and like talk about how she feels without being defensive is one of her takeaways, because she's been able to like listen to him and like hear his heart, hear his, you know, his, how he really is feeling, you know. Dr. Nicole says, you know, it's easy for someone to let their walls down or like not be so defensive when they know you have pure intentions. They're really trying to hear you out. It's kind of easier. Jessica says that she heard her standards were low. Dr. Nicole says, you know, they're not really low. It's just not high enough for you and what you are expecting. So you got to kind of raise them, you know, be willing to discuss things that are uncomfortable. If y'all are going to be married, you got to talk about this stuff. Like, get it out there, get it out in the open. You just don't want to have resentment if you are trying to avoid having tough conversations. It's going to happen. It's life. It's part of life. She says, you know what? Don't aim so low. Next, we see Eric's date with Leilani. They go to Nini's restaurant. I think it's called Lanicia. That's how you say it. This is their fourth date. I noticed that as Leilani was walking up, Sean was grinning and skinning. I was just like, oh Lord. But anyway, he was like, I'm sorry, she said, do you miss me or did you miss me? He was just like, yes I did. They hugged, big old grins on their faces. He said she allows him to vent, be comfortable, and she listens. They're going salsa dancing. I kind of want to do that. I really do. But anyway, they were kind of close, and like he had his hands on her hips. She was like, feel my body, as they do their little two-step. I noticed that she was still very touchy-feely and very flirty, and there was some hand-holding, and they were like real close, and they were like talking, and I just could not help but think, I hope they breath don't stink. Like, they were just real close. I'm sorry, but they was like here, and they were just, it was like them breathy words, like, I don't know, but anyway. Leilani said he's not the salsa dancing type. He's more like, just twerk on me and I stand back type. He says, well, what if it's my last time, you know, spending time with you? She says, well, I'll be a little bit disappointed, but, you know, it would suck, but, you know, I would understand. He says, well, yes, I want to go ahead and try to pursue my relationship a little bit stronger. And, you know, now she knows what I like, what I need, what I was not getting before. And I hope that we can kind of move forward, you know, in the future. Leilani says that she hoped that he's happy with his decision. And they kind of, she was a little bit sad. Her energy kind of turned down a little bit. But, yeah, that was the end. Next, we see LaRonda and Jessica go to the bridal shop, and Jessica says, you know, like being in there was magical, and she was excited. They discussed what kind of dress they like, and I wrote down that Jessica's dress was perfect. It fit her like a glove, like it was beautiful. She said it made her feel confident, like, yes, I can do this. LaRonda's dress was nice too. They said there was no turning back. It's happening. I didn't really like LaRonda's dress, to be honest. Maybe it was like all of this being out. I don't know, but I didn't really like it. But anyway, I would prefer Jessica's dress, or like other options too. Next, we see a date with Jessica and Eric. It was very nice and romantical. Had a really nice setup, and she said she feels loved. It was nicely decorated. It was pink. She says she feels good about their progress. He says, well, how do we keep this going? Like, what if we do continue? How can we like keep going or whatever? She says, you know what? Just use what we've learned and just don't forget the things that we've learned, and let's not fall back into old habits. They kind of agree they don't want to fail at this relationship or at the marriage, and he thinks they're finally on the same page. They toast to new life, growth, and baby number 5. I mean, y'all like it, I love it. Next, we see LaRonda and Sean going on a date. They're going to where they had their first date, kind of like a, you know, all the way full circle kind of moment. They started there. They're gonna like continue there, you know, not, I guess full circle is the wrong thing to say. I don't know. But anyway, they're going go-kart racing, kind of like back to the beginning. Sean says they've grown, but she was a little hesitant in her confessional. She was like, we've come a long way, but like, have we come far enough for me to say yes? And I was just like, you know you're gonna say yes, stop playing. He was like, I always win with you. And I was just like, wait. He started saying like stuff to her, but they were kind of like holding hands, and like it was just weird. I don't know. But he was like, I want to be your superhero. I'm gonna protect your heart. We're gonna race to greatness together. I'm gonna show you grace so you can be your full self. And those are my plans. And here I have an action. He turned around, pulled out the ring. She was excited. She said yes. It was a nice ring. They both got emotional and were excited for the future. LaRonda says it's been a long time coming, basically. I thought it was really cool that he had her family there, like their family there, you know, after they did the proposal. And yes, they went to celebrate with the family. It was pretty cool. He says, I'm going to be able to marry my queen, my best friend. Y'all know Sean loves saying queen. He probably be like, good morning, queen. Bye, queen. But anyway, next we see Eric and Jessica. He set up a photo shoot for her branding, her company. She said she was excited. She felt affirmed and appreciated. So she was doing a photo shoot for her boutique. I think it's called House of Kelly, right? Yes. And she had to like try on the outfits and do her photo shoots in them. And she was a natural in front of that camera. She looked really good. Like the outfits were cute. I mean, I wouldn't wear them because, you know, I just wouldn't wear them. But like they were really, really cute. I noticed that Eric was like really excited, like watching her be in her element. It was nice to see him watch her and be like proud of her. He said he was also like inspired by her. He was hyping her up. It was really nice to see, because you kind of only see them with Dr. Nicole, like having like contentious moments. So this was a nice moment to see. They do a set change, and he changed clothes. He came out with this ugly shirt on. It's going on y'all pictures, but he came out in this like leopard print, black and white shirt. Anyway, the proposal, he said he can't see himself without her, and he asked her to marry him. She says yes, and that was like, oh, this is so cute. You know how like you get to the finale and it's like good, you kind of forget everything else that didn't happen, but it was a nice moment for them. It really was. She's happy and excited. She feels loved. He says, I put a ring on it because when a man knows, he knows. And he said it felt good to express my love for her, to her, and she deserves it. It was really, really nice. Anyway, that was pretty much it for the episode. Now the reunion though. The reunion episode is next week, and I'm excited. It looks good. We gonna see Darian, Kai, and Alexia all talk together, and we see Kai on the side of Darian. I'm just like, But then we also see, like, I guess something, I don't know, drama. So I'm ready to see it. Alright, guys, that was the end of my review. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all on the next one.